recognize that Gartner is the leading analyst firm. So we attended a number of Gartner briefing days just to get familiar with what Gartner did and how we would interact with them. So from that, we decided that we would take out a level of service that gave us access to the key analysts within our space. But as we went along, we realized that there was other value to be had. So we were looking, for example, say, to expand a little bit more into EMEA. We were looking for some help with some of our marketing, and that wasn't traditionally something that we looked to Gartner to provide, but that became invaluable. So as we extended into Europe, we were able to get recommendations for partners, information about specific geographies that we should perhaps be addressing, and also help with our marketing. So testing the message before you roll it out. So if you're an English software company selling to the US space, you know, it's good to have an angel on your shoulder to give you some advice as to what will work within that market. And that's been very, very valuable to us. So we've extended the service for that reason. Overall, one of the things that we've learned, one of the things that has really, really been driven home to us is the value of interacting with the analysts early on. So we were possibly using the analysts for validation. So we're planning to do this, you know, what do you think? And rather than just demonstrating product or explaining to them your position on a particular product, getting them involved early on in the planning phases of maybe a product release or something like that, that has significant benefit, perhaps that we didn't recognize in the early stages. And we've now been able to influence product direction. And I think if the analysts feel that they've got, for want of a better term, skin in the game, then that will have a better reflection on your position with Gartner themselves. One of the key initiatives, we were planning a program, a campaign for the US market, and we reached out to the analyst in our space, David Coyle, and ran our ideas of the program through with David, and also we reached out to one of the marketing contacts, and we got some very, very good and valuable information that allowed us to steer that campaign in a slightly different direction and validate some of the thoughts that we had. That really helped us execute that campaign a lot better, and we got some great results from it. A lot of new registrations and a lot of people looking at our software, and some new customers as a result as well, which is the true measure of the value of any interaction. We really didn't expect to have customers calling us saying that Gartner have said that we should talk to you. One of the other things I think that was unexpected was we didn't have a presence on the Magic Quadrant in previous years, but because we knew Gartner and because they had a good opinion of Hornbill, was to actually arrange for prospective customers to contact the analyst within our space. And they would provide an overview of their thoughts on our weaknesses and our strengths. So that was quite unexpected. We thought that we'd need to be in the quadrant to receive that kind of attention, but they're quite happy to provide the advice to Gartner clients, assessing various different vendors that are not on the Magic Quadrant. Get a good AE would be my first piece of advice. But my second piece of advice would be not just to use it as validation, not to think that you have to have something to show to a Gartner analyst. Get them involved early on. Talk to them on a regular basis and ensure you got that relationship and that interaction happening all the time. So as you go forward, getting their advice and input into some of your plans. If you're developing a software product like we are, for example, say getting them in right at the early stage when you're just in the planning stage. That's something that's taken us a while to get used to doing, but now that we do it, we get them involved in the early stage, and it really can drive things in the right direction.